Today we're going to have a look at some Victorian pastimes, things that you might have done inside, especially if you had a little bit more money. I'm going to start by having a look at a scrapbook. Now, scrapbooking today is still really popular. People like to collect things and put them together, generally about what they've been doing. In Victorian times, people used to buy packs of what they called scraps, which were pictures, brightly coloured pictures of different things, flowers, people, places, that they could then cut out and arrange and stick into a scrapbook. So I'm going to pick up the book and show you the example. You can see it's quite a big book, and when you open it up, sometimes it's very simple and it's just pictures which may have been cards, so lots of these say Christmas greetings on them. I always find that quite interesting that they're very floral. Today we often don't see floral Christmas greetings. And then we get pages like these ones here, which are full of little bits that have been cut out and stuck in. So this scrapbook is from 1884. So it's been around a long time, but as I said before, we still make scrapbooks and memory books today. Another toy that we have that people still do lots of is reading. Reading is one of those things you can do at any time. Just take yourself into a corner and curl up with a good book. I have two books here. This one here is called Johnny Venture, A Story of an Exciting Journey. Comes from 1890. There's not a lot of pictures in there. The pictures they have are black and white and plate pictures, and the text is generally quite a lot of it. The other book I have here is Favourite Rhymes for the Nursery. This one is full of nursery rhymes and riddles. Again, some pictures, some writing. I'm going to test you on a riddle, see if you can guess it. What shoes are made without leather, with all four elements put together? Fire and water, earth and air, every customer has two pair. Have a think about it, see if you can work out the answer. The answer is a horseshoe. Another toy, again, still popular today, is the tea set. I'm sure we've all sat there and had a cup of tea with dolls, with family members, tried lots of interesting inventions. This tea set here comes from the 1890s. It's enamelled, so it's made of metal and then has an enamel coating over, which gives it its nice bright colour, but also protects it from rust. Of course, most of our tea sets today are made of plastic. If you were wealthy, your tea set would have been made of china. Our next toy is Noah's Ark. In Victorian times, Noah's Ark was the most popular children's toy, partly because it's what we call a Sunday toy. On a Sunday, children were only allowed to play with toys that taught them about the Bible, about God, or about the Queen. As you can imagine, there weren't many toys children could play with, so Noah's Ark became one of the most popular toys. Most of the time it would live on the shelf, so it only came out on a Sunday, so it was a special toy that you only played with once a week. This version is a modern replica because Noah's Ark is still a popular toy today. We're now going to have a look at a doll. Dolls, again, really popular, still are really popular. Lots of children like to play with dolls. This one here is a doll that has a celluloid head and a ragdoll body. Because she is old, the celluloid is now very fragile. You might have had a doll made out of china. You might have had a doll made out of wax. You'd have to be careful with the wax doll not to leave it too close to the fire or on the windowsill. There were some nasty incidents of melted dolls. Might have had a doll made out of wood. You might have had a rag doll. If you couldn't afford to buy a doll, then you could make a doll out of an old clothes peg or out of an old spoon. What we have here is a doll's pram. Again, doll's prams are still very common today. In Victorian times, they were very much modelled on the prams of the time. You can see this one has two seats in there, so you could have two dolls in there. They are made generally of wood and metal and leather, and would be quite fun to push around and play with.